Alright, our game recap. So, when we recorded last week, the Rams and Seahawks were yet to play in Week 15. So the Rams had beat the Seahawks 20-10 after, in the game around the fourth quarter, there was a pass interference that was not, the flag wasn't thrown in. And if you're going to throw the flag, if you're going to throw the flag on every issue, that's the penalty you got to throw it on. The fact that you don't is what's wrong with officiating. They got to fix officiating so you give the players the ability to play, but you got to call the penalties that are right there in front of you instead of saying nope. But you also got to be able to understand what happened when the Cowboys and Raiders played and Zay Jones ends up bringing Anthony Brown into his chest protector. There's got to be a line there. But for DJ Dallas, who's running, and the Rams corner just to run into him, and the ball is not even there yet, that's the penalty. It's not like DJ Dallas brought him in and tried to pull him. He didn't do that. He got hit. There was nothing he could do. In fact, you have an NFL legend, essentially, in Adrian Peterson, who said, yeah, we got robbed. Plain and simple. But, however, and it might not have changed the score, but it would have made the Seahawks probably have a better score. And it potentially could have been a win for the Seahawks. But the Rams won 20-10. The Packers beat the Browns 24-22. I'm a little concerned by the Packers. That's the second time in 2 weeks where you've only won by 2 points or less. That's bad. That is really bad. Because now Minnesota comes into town. You lost to Minnesota. If that happens again, now we're talking, there's a big situation in the playoff picture in the NFC. The Colts beat the Cardinals 22-16. The Colts, I don't see any team wanting to face the Colts heading into the playoffs. I just don't see it happening. The Cardinals, they really do miss DeAndre Hopkins. But they gotta try and be better. Teams are starting to figure out how to slow down Kyler Murray just a little bit, and that could be just enough. Bills beat the Patriots 33-21. It's the first time in Belichick's coaching career, he became a head coach in 1990, where the team that they faced has never punted, didn't punt in the game. It's the first time that ever happened. The Chiefs beat the Steelers 36-10, and it wasn't even that close. The Steelers, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. Because this team isn't very good. Big Ben was not the problem in this game. He was playing his tail off. And the team, defensively, they can't tackle. They can't tackle. At all. They can't tackle. They can't play coverage. They can't sack the quarterback. The things that they need to do, they can't do. Their offense is so slow, it's bad. They can't move the ball down the field. They run the ball, when they would have had success throwing the football down the field. They just weren't doing it. It's a 3rd and 12, you run a drag route. There's two guys on a route, and one of it's a drag route. That's not going to win you anything. So I am concerned for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And finally, the Cowboys beat Washington 56-14 in a game that I was like, okay, like it happened. The Cowboys were on a roll in this game. Everything was working. They ended up throwing a touchdown to an offensive lineman. It was all working. There was nothing, the run game, the pass game, the play action game. They could play defense. They scored on every front, essentially. On offense, defense, and special teams. They did everything right. If this team is on, they're going to be hard to deal with in the playoffs. Now, our predictions for Week 17. Chiefs vs. Bengals. The Bengals are getting plus 5.5. This game, I really believe, could be the coming out party for Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to take the Bengals. I know it's 5.5, but I'm going to say the Bengals are going to win this. The score is going to be 27-20. Raiders vs. Colts. Colts are favored by 7.5. I'm taking the Colts. I don't see the Raiders stopping Jonathan Taylor anytime soon. So the Colts are gonna win. Scores 38-21. Cardinals vs. Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 5.5. That's a lot more wishful thinking. They're at home. The Cowboys are at home. The Cardinals are a better team on the road than they are at home. This game was actually moved from a 1 o'clock time slot to a 4:25 time slot. I'm taking the Cowboys. It hasn't failed me yet. I'm taking the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to win. Scores going to be close game. I think it's a lot closer than what a lot of people are going to expect, but it's going to be 28-24. Vikings vs. Packers. Packers are favored by 6.5. The Cowboys need the Vikings to win this. But it's going to be cold. But I'm still taking the Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings to win. Close game. Score's going to be 30-27. And finally, Browns vs. Steelers on Monday night. Steelers are getting plus 3. The Steelers need this one. They really do. So I'm going to take the Steelers. They're going to win 17-14.